Thank you so much for taking part 2 of the Military Consumer Toolkit class. Part 1 was spending and budgeting. Part 2 is earn. Part 3 is borrow. Part 4 is save and invest. Part 5 is protect. Each video in the series has a 13-minute introduction that is the same as video 1. Thank you so much and have a great day. This is the introduction to this particular video, and it talks about why the Military Consumer Toolkit was created, its purpose, and how it will help military families, and why this matters so much to the Federal Trade Commission and the military. My family has served in the military. My uncle was in the Navy during the Korean conflict, and my stepfather was in the Air Force for 30 years. My husband was a Marine. My daughter was a Marine, and she served in Desert Storm. I wanted to serve in the Marine Corps, but that didn't come to pass. I'm small and sickly. So, but I just want to try to give back to those I care about so much. And so I put this video together to be of assistance to our military family and friends. So once again, thank you for watching this video. I had a joining forces video in this segment of this video, and I've had to take it out because of the music or something on YouTube. It was copyrighted, so I just took it out. I am saddened to know that the website is no longer active. We still need the resources that was provided by this organization. Even though it was an initiative started by Dr. Jill Biden and First Lady Michelle Obama, it is still needed. I hope someone out there listening to this video will move this wonderful organization to the private sector. All of the businesses and all the people that were involved in the companies. I know there's protocol and everything with various administrations and all of that stuff, but it just is mind boggling to me that this administration has removed this website and all of the things that were being done for our military families. So if there's someone listening, please do something. Maybe you can talk to Ms. Obama if you're in that area, or Dr. Biden if you're in that kind of area. But this needs to be reinstated in the private sector, in the communities at large. It does not need to be an initiative that can be turned on and off because the needs are not turned on and off. I don't know what I can do. I'm just a lowly retired person, but those that have power, this is one time you could use your power for great things. Absolutely great things. Debt can put you in a cell. It can put your mental life in a cell. It can affect your family, your requirements on the base. It can just have so many negative side effects. And the only way to fix that, the only way to correct it and to get out of the mental anguish of debt is training. That's what this video is all about. That's what the toolkit is all about, to give you the tools and the abilities to get yourself out of the situation and not find yourself back in a mental lockdown because of debt.
I'm Jessica Rich, Director of Consumer Protection at the Federal Trade Commission.
And I'm Technical Sergeant James Mulhern.
When the Department of Defense said that financial readiness is a big part of military preparedness, we listened. When you know how to manage your money and how to spot a ripoff, you're more financially solid. That keeps you mission ready at home and abroad.
That's why the Department of Defense, the Federal Trade Commission, and others teamed up to make military.consumer.gov your tool for financial readiness.
We are proud to offer our uniformed service members and families quick mobile tips that won't slow you down. Want to buy a car, manage your money during deployment, or continue your education? Get started right from your phone at military.consumer.gov.
Before you open your wallet, check out Military Consumer.
For all our members of the uniformed services, knowledge is the first line of defense for you and your family. Visit military.consumer.gov, your tool for financial readiness.
What you want is not always what you need. Sometimes that new car should not be a purchase, whereas you can actually fix up the old one you have, maybe a little body work, a little paint work, and that will keep you from adding additional debt that you cannot afford. The purpose of this class is to help military families and military personnel to have good tools to make good financial decisions, because wrong decisions can have a long-term effect on family life, mission readiness, and the service members' security clearance. Working with the Department of Defense, the Federal Trade Commission came up with this program, and it's so important because they want you to be able to make solid financial decisions that will not impact you and your family in a negative way. This program seeks to help you answer these questions. Who will handle my finances during deployment? What should I know when buying a car? Often we think that's an easy purchase, but some of those contracts can be detrimental to your finances and can cause you some serious financial harm. And also, can I use my military training to further my goals? As you saw in the video from joining forces, that is very relevant and possible. Why does this matter? Why is this so important? Why does the military seek to help those families and personnel to understand more clearly the concept of debt? It's because of the survey they did and the studies they have found that the average military family has more debt than assets. The purpose of this class is to help you, give you the tools so that you can make good decisions on your assets and not acquire a lot of debt. Continuing with why this matters. The challenges of military life can affect the service member's finances as well as the service member's family. It hurts everyone when things are off balance. Frequent transitions and changes can cause you to have problems straightening out different debts and obligations in one location when you move into another. Many service members have little financial experience. That was my father. When he came into the military, he was taken advantage of. I know of a couple of car purchases he made that really did not turn out well. And the bad part about it, these things have long-term consequences. These things can follow you when you leave the military. This whole program is designed to give you the know-how and the keys of making good, smart financial decisions. These are some of the topics we will be covering in the Toolkit Part 2. This portion is on earning, how you earn money not just in working, but how you prepare to increase your income by like going to school, getting additional training, and different opportunities, some that are good and some that are fraudulent. So this seeks to teach you how to differentiate between the two. Education is the key to any successful life. You need skill and training to do well. In preparation for picking the school you need, you want to do your research. You want to find out what types of education do you need, in your field or your chosen career. Also, you want to know what kind of school offers those courses. All schools don't have the same degree programs or the same training programs, so you want to make sure that the courses you need to fit your educational desires are in that particular school and that they're well certified. You can use the GI Bill comparison tool, which will help you learn about the school. It will give you information about the programs at the school, the cost, how many people defaulted on their loans at the school, how many people graduates and how well did they do after they left, and what type of accreditation does the school have. That's very important. You want to make sure that the classes you take are transferable. You want to make sure that all you do there will not be wasted if you decide to go to another institution. You want to check out the school, go see what the school is like, visit the campus, get an idea what the climate and the environment of the school is. Get credits for training. You want to make sure that anything you do there, you get credit for it. It's not like you just taking a course that has some courses in college have no credit. It's just like a refresher course or tutoring course. It doesn't give you any kind of credit. So you want to make sure that every class you're taking does provide credit on your transcript. Make sure you review the enrollment contract because you're making a commitment to pay for this. So you want to make sure you know all the terms and the conditions of that contract prior to signing. Let's consider paying for your education. You've made your decision, so now how do we pay for it? We're going to look at some options that are for while you're in service and when you leave service. So there are some things you can do to help fund your education now that you've made your decision whether in or out of the service. There are many options that you have. So we're going to look at those. The first one is while in service. Tuition assistance. Now, this program pays for much, if not all, of your costs. Then you have your TA Decide program. This helps you do comparison with different schools about the benefits they offer and do they accept the various programs that the military uses to pay for your education. Then you have the voluntary education contact. This helps explain your benefits, your eligibility funding programs. This gives you information about various programs. Then you have the GI Bill benefits. These can be useful, but the program is recommending that you wait until you after you leave the military to use this one. Okay, as you leave the military, these are things you should check into prior to your coming out of the military. You want to understand these programs, how they work for you. So you have the transition assistance program. This one is really wonderful. This will help you and your family to make some decisions about jobs or education or even some type of civilian ownership business, some way you can make money, and they will be able to help you with the right procedures to help you avoid any form of scams or being taken advantage of. Then you have the state veterans offers. This can explain various state benefits you may be eligible for. And then back to your VA GI Bill. This will help you find out about the various approvals and benefits and things you have available to you that will cover your education. And then Military One Source is just you can find information about scholarships. And the main thing is you want to be aware of companies that guarantee that they can get you in a scholarship exchange for a fee. That's not right. Scholarships don't come by you paying a fee. If somebody wants you to pay for a scholarship or to get into a scholarship program, that is fraud. Okay, continuing on with paying for your education. Now, this part is talking about the student loan basics and things you're actually responsible for. These are things you need to be fully aware of prior to making student loans. You want to be sure that you know what you're getting into and how important those things are. So let's take a look at the student loan basics. The supplemental GI Bill benefits. This is something that you have to understand that there are various programs out there that can assist you with paying for your education. Okay, there's a lifetime cap on the total amount of federal student loans you can take. That's something you want to understand. You cannot just keep getting money. You cannot just keep getting student loans even though you were in the military. So you want to make sure that you lay out your degree program and work out how that program is going to be paid for so that your student loan monies cover you until you graduate. So the loans must be repaid. even if you don't finish. And federal loans are better than private loans. The interest rate is much better. And for information, you can about scholarships and grants, you can go to studentaid.gov. Now, before you commit, these are some things you need to consider. These are some very serious things you need to consider. It says right here what the interest rate and total cost is. That's something we don't think about. Say, for instance, your degree starts at $18,000 per year. Some programs are more expensive than that. So you want to make sure that if you have a loan, even a student loan with the federal government, what is going to be the payout for that loan? Is the interest rate such that you would pay back, say instead of 18,000, you're going to pay back 25? So, or if you get a private loan, it could actually be more. The 18,000 could actually cost you somewhere in the neighborhood of 26. So, and then when repayment begins, and how often will you pay? Sometimes repayment starts at a certain time, not when you graduate. That's why it's so important to understand all of them don't start when you leave school. If you don't finish the program and you drop out, those loans automatically come due. The school will report you to the person paying for your education, the loan institution, and they will immediately start sending you bills. So you want to really plan and know what you're talking about so that you can plan to graduate, not get out of school with no degree and still owe these loans. How long do you have to repay? So you want to make sure that the loan doesn't increase in interest rate. If the loan is supposed to be paid for, say for instance, in 4 years, well, you keep getting deferments. Well, if you get a deferment, which is a forbearance on your loan because you're not working or whatever, you still have to pay that loan. So you want to understand the forbearance process or anything that goes with you not being able to pay, and any penalties you incur if you cannot pay before the time allocated or after the time allocated. So you want to make sure you truly do understand that. Okay, getting a high school equivalency diploma. This is not as easy as you see the ads on the TV promising. Online diploma tests are all scams. You cannot take this test online. Is right here you can see the legitimate tests for high school equivalency are these four: the GED, HISET, the TASC, and the California CHSPE. And all of these tests you have to go to an approved site. There is a person and you are being supervised to take this test. So you have to sign up to take the test and you have to do all the necessary things you need to do. And when you show up, you must have the right ID. So it's not like you can pay somebody to take the test for you. You can't do that either. Now, to find out more, you should contact your local state Department of Education, and you should check with the community college to see if they have any options. And there are a few options for earning the equivalency. You can meet high school credit requirements by taking classes at a community college or university extension program. Alternately, some states recognize the National Exam Diploma Program, which is online and requires monthly in-person evaluations. And some states will accept credit from certain online courses, work skills, or certifications, but you still have to be certified in person by the rules according to the state that you're residing in. There is no easy way to get a high school equivalency exam. It's not on the internet.
Finding a job is tough and it's hard work. You're looking for a way to earn money, not give it away, but it can be awfully tempting to pay someone who promises you a job.
I was desperate, and the ad said cleaning jobs were available. I called the number in the ad, and they said I could start working as soon as I paid $100 for certification.
I'd been looking for a job for months and needed help. For $4,000, they guaranteed me interviews with their clients and said they'd refund my money if I wasn't satisfied.
Scammers advertise jobs exactly where legitimate employers do, on popular websites, in the classifieds, and even on TV. The ads sound so promising, whether it's for hourly work or an executive level job. Every ad raises your hopes, but ads placed by scammers come with a twist. You have to pay, and then there is no job.
It turns out there was no job, no certification, and no chance I was going to get my money back.
There was no access, there were no clients. Not only didn't I get any interviews, but they kept every dime I paid.
What a waste! The study materials that were supposed to help me get a postal job were useless. And the company I paid has nothing to do with the Postal Service.
Let's face it, many con artists are good at what they do. They can sound very convincing, especially when your defenses are down. They may say they've got a job waiting for you, or they might guarantee to place you in a job. But you can't believe the promises, even when you want to. Legitimate companies don't make promises or guarantees about jobs. If an employer or employment service firm wants you to pay, even if they say it's for certification, training materials, or for their expenses placing you with the company, don't do business with them. Legitimate employers and firms don't ask you to pay for the promise of a job. Some listing services and consultants write their ads or phone scripts to sound like they have jobs waiting for you. The truth is, they're only selling information about looking for a job, information that's generally available for free.
Remember, you shouldn't have to pay to get paid. Don't pin your hopes or your money on a promise. If you've been the victim of a job scam and paid someone for a job that didn't exist, we want to hear about it. Complain to the Federal Trade Commission at ftc.gov/complaint or 1-877-FTC-HELP. Letting the Federal Trade Commission know about your experience can help put an employment scam out of business. For more information, visit ftc.gov/jobscams.
Looking for work as a caregiver or nanny? Caregiver websites can help you find jobs, but scammers also use them to find people to rip off. Scammers make up stories to get your money. They email or text that they want to hire you. They send you a big check and ask you to send back money to a supplier to buy medical equipment or other things you'll need for the job. But the check will bounce. So the money you sent was really yours, and it's really gone. And so are the scammers. Don't send money because someone says they want to hire you. An online search might help you spot a scammer's tricks. Report scams at ftc.gov/imposters.
Finding a job can be hard at times depending on the industry or what type of job you're looking for. As you've seen for those little videos, there is many ways to be tricked. But if you know how the scam works, then you know how to avoid them. So I hope the information in those little videos will help you be aware of things that are there. There are many legitimate ways as a service member to find a job. As you're looking for jobs, as you're exiting the military, there are many good and legitimate ways to find a job. You know, the military job fairs, you have the Feds Hire Vet, the Career One Stop, USA Jobs. I have actually applied for jobs on USA Jobs. It's a beautiful website with jobs all over the country in all departments of the government. And the Installation Education Office can help you. You know, it helps you with learning how to transition, giving you opportunities and information about being a career as a teacher. You know, so I think that's a really good thing that they have for folks like Truths to Teachers. It's a very good program. And also use a job search service. You know, a lot of times those are very good, and many of those services can provide you with good information, but no job service will guarantee you a job. Remember that. The services are good and there are many legitimate ones out there, but no one can guarantee you a job. You have to go through the interviewing process. Any promises that are made, get the promises in writing. I cannot emphasize that enough. get all the details about the pay. When I started out, I'm dating myself, what you would get is called an offer letter. Once they interviewed you, you went through the process and everything, then they would give you a written letter stating your job, a little overview of what you're going to be doing, and the proposed salary. And you would actually have to sign it. Insist on paperwork in advance. Do not let anybody promise to give you anything. If they don't want to give you things in writing, you need to leave these folks alone. And that's what you should do. Check out any jobs they find. A lot of times they will tell you about a job that they claim they found. And I have found this often on the internet. I hate the days of what we do now. Used to be you could go to a company and apply for the job, look at the people, they could look at you. Now you'll find jobs on services. They offer you jobs that have been filled or they're no longer there. So if you find one on one of these sources, job search services, Google that job. You might find that the job is no longer available or the job doesn't even show up. It might have been a job that was posted last year, but they're trying to get you in and get your contact information, and all you do is end up getting in their database. So be mindful of these little tips and tricks. Everyone wants to work for themselves, and one of the easiest one people promote is a franchise because it comes with many perks, with many manuals, training, already existing client, already existing advertising. So people really think a franchise is the way to go. It can be a very lucrative opportunity, but you must do your homework and see if this is a fit for you. So the things you want to consider, do your homework, because how long is this agreement? Some of these agreements can last from 5 to 10 years. Are you willing to stay put that long? Is that something that would work for you? And then the next thing you want to consider is, do your skills align? Do the skill sets you have match these needed skills for that franchise? Will you achieve your financial goals? Will you be able to live on the monies that are allocated to you from the franchise? Remember, you're working for yourself. The business is yours, so you have to meet the obligations of the business prior to paying yourself. Now, you need advice. You're going to need to take a lawyer and an accountant with you. Review your paperwork. Make sure you understand what's happening. The attorney will be able to help you review the documents and things that you will receive, but the accountant plays a very important part. He will make sure that you have a good, solid business plan. A good, solid business plan, which will include how much money can you afford to invest, not what you think you can invest, but what you can afford to invest. And if you need financing, where are you going to get it from? How's your credit? Will a bank loan you money to make up the short you need to pay for that franchise? And then the main thing is, what is the minimal amount of income you will be able to pay yourself per year out of the franchise? Because this is how you pay your mortgage, your car note, and all of these other things. So working for yourself is not the same as working for someone else. Now, the paperwork, you want to make sure all the paperwork is in order. There's a document called a franchise disclosure document that you get 14 days before you sign the final paperwork. This is not a if, this is something that you definitely need. And this is the document that will explain your whole agreement about the franchise. And then review state laws. Make sure you understand what laws protect franchises. Contact your state attorney general's office. Make sure you understand what's going on. And if I don't get the federal program to work right, you might want to consider another opportunity. So if the federal programs they have for franchises is not conducive to what you're trying to do, maybe you need to leave that alone. If those federal programs don't support that, you need to seek another opportunity.
Operation Empty Promises is part of the FTC's continuing effort to crack down on scammers who sell bogus business opportunities, fraudulent work-at-home schemes, and worthless job listings. One of the really heartbreaking things about our job is we hear over and over from consumers who tell us that Mere minutes after they gave someone their credit card information, they did a simple internet search, and they found stories that made them break out in a cold sweat. Most people have read or heard about the latest successful new businesses on the internet, but not everyone has heard about the many businesses that fail and the reasons why they fail. Scammers try to take advantage of this by creating the impression that the internet is a magic place where you can easily earn money without putting in hard work or without having a solid business plan. If you're getting promises like that, it's a great sign that you're dealing with a scammer. Scammers want to create an impression that if you don't buy immediately, you're going to miss out on a valuable opportunity. They want you to give up your bank or credit card information before you've had an opportunity to look into their claims or talk to other people who've had experiences with the company. This is a classic sign of fraud. If someone is creating a high-pressure atmosphere for you, you should walk away and do your research before you buy. You should never rely on a refund policy or a money-back guarantee as a substitute for researching the offer that's been presented to you. If someone is promising you that you're going to earn a lot of money, but they're being vague about what you would do or how you would earn it, that is a sign of fraud. In the online business context, that may mean that they're telling you you're going to make a lot of money with a successful business, but they're not telling you what you would sell, how people would come to your website, or what your expenses would be. They may tell you that you don't need to know these details because they're going to take care of everything. Don't trust those claims. You need to be involved in your own business.
One way to make money is what's called multi-level marketing. But there's a big difference in this industry. There is a caveat to one. It's called a pyramid scheme. And you need to know the difference between them. You need to really understand what they are. So, a multi level marketing distributor is one who sells products directly to other people, and they also recruit new distributors. But the money they make comes from sales, not recruiting. Okay, remember that. Now, the pyramid side of the thing is the money is based on the amount of people you recruit and sales to them, not just customers. This is illegal. Now, the difference is the multi level marketing, your money is made from the sales you make, and you also recruit people into the company. The pyramid scheme is the money you make is made from the people you recruit who you sell to. That's the difference. You sell to the people you recruit in the pyramid scheme. In the multi-level marketing, you just sell to random people. That is the difference. It's very subtle, but very serious. Do your research. Know what you're getting into. Know all about the program. Make sure you're fully aware. Get details in writing. You want to make sure that whatever they're telling you and how you get paid and any potential expenses or samples or marketing materials. And the most important thing to ask about is the refund policy on unused or unsold products. Get this stuff in writing. Make sure you ask and talk to former distributors, people who used to work there. What are some of their annual sales, expenses, and profits? What percentage of the money you made came from recruiting others or selling them inventory to get started? So, how long have you been in this business? How long did you have to do this before you started making money? How many people have you recruited? That gives you an idea on how people view this organization and how easy it is to get people signed up. So you want to also search online. Go online and type in the name of the company, and you might add some words to it like review, complaint, pyramid, or scam. And you'll probably get some interesting responses on that. And you want to look for the common signs of being a pyramid scheme? Do distributors sell most of their products to other distributors? That's the key. Or do they make money from recruiting others? That's also a sign. So these are the differences you want to make sure they're subtle. They're actually very subtle. But this is something you need to understand because one of them is a legitimate way to make money. Another one is a legitimate way to go to jail. It is illegal.
It may come as no surprise that when the economy is in decline, fraud is on the rise.
You have people who have been successful for the last 10 years, so they got a little something put away. Now, you know, they took their expense account, they cut their overtime, so now they're looking to increase their earning potential. Business opportunities can boom in a recession and in a downturn of the economy.
Nobody in business is going to give you your money back if your business fails.
You never saw me in your life. You saw a commercial on TV, you got on the phone with me, you spoke to me for 10 seconds, I gave you some names to call, and I gave you some things to look up, and you called me back 3 days later, and you wrote me a check for $50,000. Does that sound a little screwed up?
People want to believe that there is some opportunity that they can invest in that will guarantee that they will have financial success. There is no such thing. There just is no sure deal. None.
The best advice I could give to anybody who's looking to purchase a business opportunity or purchase any investment over the phone is fast no's and slow yeses. Period, the end. Fast no's and slow yeses.
This is something that I collected off of the militaryconsumer.gov's website, and just to encourage you to visit. These are just some few of the scams they had listed. Hurricane Harvey scam, phantom debt collectors, false promises for work at home scams. Have we not heard that in this video? This is the one that got me. No secret bank account to pay your bills. They create these fake bank accounts and tell you there's a secret way you can pay your bills. That's not real. Avoid international travel document scams. Fake debt collectors impersonate real businesses like the electric company, the gas company. Protect your mortgage closing. Like, for instance, you working on closing your mortgage and you'll get somebody calling you claiming that he's involved in your closing. No, if it's not from your real estate person or the person that's dealing and set up your escrow and all this for your accounts, don't let somebody call you fraudulently and make a lot of promises. FTC doesn't need your bank information. I thought this was really interesting. The Federal Trade Commission is not going to call you and ask you for banking information. They're the ones who's protecting you from these crazy scammers, and now they've got them involved.
Make a lot of money fast. Be part of our exciting new business. Come to our free seminar.
There's no shortage of false promises out there. You might have gotten a letter, email, or text, or seen an ad or infomercial on TV. They tell amazing stories about people just like you who made lots of cash and secured their financial future. Unfortunately, the payoff doesn't match the promise.
Act now. Opportunities are limited.
Nope. Take your time. Don't let anyone convince you that you need to act now or risk missing out. Investigate the business. Ask for their one-page disclosure document. And be skeptical about testimonials. The organizers may have paid people to lie to you. When it comes to business and investment opportunities, exercise doubt and check it out at ftc.gov. A tip from the Federal Trade Commission, the nation's consumer protection agency.
Working from home usually comes about when there is a shortage of money in the home, or for whatever reason you can't get out, or maybe there's a limitation on transportation. So it's a good opportunity to make money without a serious outlay of transportation costs and other issues. But you want to do your due diligence to make sure that the offer for work at home is a reputable offer with a reputable company. I cannot emphasize enough, do your due diligence. Work from home is a good idea, but unfortunately, many of these opportunities or jobs are scams. They're not legitimate. They're not with legitimate companies. You end up paying for starter kits or certifications that are useless. The certifications have no relevance or credibility in other educational institutions and cannot be transferred. Unfortunately, you find credit card charges but from these companies that you did not authorize. And the worst one of them all is the fake check scam. They will send you a check telling you please deposit this check and return to us certain amount for fees or certification costs, and then you put it in your bank. Well, according to the federal law, they must deposit the funds in your checking account within 2 days. At this point, the bank does not know whether the check is good or bad, but you spend part of the money or you spend all of the money, plus you send these people money back. Then you find after a few days that there is a call from the bank or there's an enormous overdraft to the amount of that check if it's $500 or $1,000. So this is one of the worst scams of them all, because now you are liable for the complete face value of that check that you deposited. So if you're looking at this kind of opportunity and you receive some type of payment, put the check in the bank. Wait until the check clears, or you can ask your bank if the check is good. A lot of times they can tell you before depositing it if the check is actually a good check. But the main thing is wait until the check clears. Many of these at home offers do not deliver on the promises that the ads present. They do not tell you that you will have to do hours of prep work before you start the task that you're being paid for. They don't disclose all the upfront cost. They promise you that you have quick return on the money you spend, and that's not true. And sadly to say, most of these ads are scams, and people all over the country who want to do these work at home opportunities are being cheated out of thousands of dollars, not just including time and energy, just the frustration of it all.
Start your own internet business. No experience required. Our experts will help you. All you do is promote your website and we'll send you a check every week. The internet might sound like a sure business bet, but most internet startups require big investments of time and money, and a lot of them fail. Many of these ads are scams that promise more than they can deliver. An internet business requires the same solid planning and hard work as any other business. Search online for more information on the business and ask for its one-page disclosure document. Bogus internet opportunity sales pitches often are short on details and long on high-pressure tactics to get you to buy before you've investigated the offer. So when it comes to business and investment opportunities, exercise doubt and check it out at ftc.gov. A tip from the Federal Trade Commission, the nation's consumer protection agency.
As you've seen by the previous slide, internet businesses are not just slam dunk get rich. They require as much effort as any other business. Envelope stuffing. You'll see an ad and it's inviting you to do envelope stuffing to make extra money. Well, they want you to send a little small fee. Then you get a letter in the mail, as opposed to doing envelopes. You get a letter in the mail stating there's no work, and for you to make money, you have to sign up other people for envelope stuffing or selling some of their other products. This is like a pyramid scheme. That's not real. There's no job entailed in that. Then you have assembly or craft work. This scam gets you to buy like sewing machines, sign machines. You buy all this product to make whatever they want you to make that you're supposed to sell back to them for them to sell. Well, you purchase all of this stuff, you purchase the supplies, the equipment, and all of this, and then they tell you that your product doesn't meet their standards. So basically, all you've done is buy all this useless equipment, and you have no way to make money with this because the company will not buy the products that you have made. Rebate processing. This one, they're promising you to train you to do these rebates, get you these certifications, and they will help you learn this business. And the ad promises that all of this stuff will be done with a number one work at home consultant and all of this stuff. So you buy all of this stuff they want you to buy, like training manuals and all of this other stuff you pay money for. And then when you get ready, there are no rebates to process. It's just that simple. They have just scammed you out of your money for something that's not real. And the sad part about it is very few people get their money back. Medical billing is a real job. It is something that people get paid well for, but it requires training to understand the various medical codes, how to bill the coding so that the doctor gets paid from the insurance company. What the scam does, they get you to buy all of this equipment. You got to buy these manuals, the software. They promise to train you and put you with people who can help you to be a success. But what it is they're forcing you to create a medical billing business. You're not being given to a client or doing medical billing. They're trying to put you in a business type of thing. It's like a franchise or something of that nature. So what they're doing is they're putting you in a position to lose a great deal of money. They promise you all of these resources. They give you all these fake manuals. They give you this list supposedly of doctors needing your service, when in actuality the lists are not any good. They're outdated. Many of the doctors are not requesting that service, or they already have a service. The medical billing business has numerous companies doing just that, and so the competition is fierce. So this is something you do not want to get involved in because it's not as they're promising. Mystery shopper. This one is interesting in the sense that it's basically one of those check scam things. They want you to go to these stores, eat and shop and give reviews, and they will pay you for the reviews. Sooner or later, they're going to send you this check, and they'll tell you, well, just deposit the check and send us back $150 and you keep the balance. Say, for instance, it's a $500 check. So you deposit the check, you spend the money eating in the restaurants, you spend the money buying the product, and some of them will have you send the product back. But all they really want you to do is to deposit their check and to wire them money. So the check is no good. You don't know that at first because the bank will automatically deposit the money in your account. It will show up. But by law, they have to show it in your account within 2 days from the date of deposit. But the check has not cleared. This is what the scammers are counting on. By the time the check clears, you find out the check is bogus. The bank will take the money from your account. It's not like a credit card fraud. This is something you have actually deposited a bad check, and so the check bounces. So they in turn take the money. The bank is going to take the money back because it's the bank's money. So they will take the money back, and you will have to make good on the overdraft. Multi-level marketing. There are many legitimate multi-level companies out there that are doing very well, and their clients and customers do wonderful business with them, and they're very pleased. But not all multi-level marketing companies are legit. Some of them tout, you know, very high lifestyle for their clients and how much they people make and all of this stuff, and it's very promoted on the bulk of the money being just exorbitant. So here you are, you believe these claims, and so you ask to sign up and all of this stuff. And so what you want to ask them is, you want to ask them, how much money does people really make after all their expenses are paid? Because some of these have you paying money back to them or whatever. But if they tell you that you make the bulk of your money by recruiting people, that is a pyramid scheme. There is just no short way to making money. Now, this is a quote from the Federal Trade Commission in this little work at home thing, and it's very pronounced statement. It states clearly, promises of a big income working from home, especially when the opportunities involve upfront fee or giving your credit card information, should make you very suspicious. I mean, very suspicious. It doesn't matter if the ad shows in a trusted newspaper or website. The newspaper could be the Los Angeles Times, the Tribune in Chicago, or a newspaper from New York. Doesn't make any difference. The newspaper is just running an ad. They're not acting as a verifier of the ad. So just because it's there doesn't mean it's legitimate. And you should not be taken in by the fact that the people talking to you are very knowledgeable, personable. It is still a scam. The questions that the Federal Trade Commission say you should ask when you're considering one of these is, what tasks will I perform? Or any other steps involved? Will I be paid a salary, or will I be paid on commission? What is the basis for all those grandiose claims you make about how much money I'm going to be earning? And who will pay me? Now, some more questions they want you to ask is, when will I get my first paycheck? And also number 6 talks about the supplies. What is the total cost of starting this business? Like supplies, equipment, membership fees. Basically, what will I get for my money? And then number 7, it talks about, back to that grandiose claim on the money. It says, if a seller makes a claim about how much money a person can earn, there is a statement you can request. That's what I put on question 7A. You ask for this thing called an earnings claim statement. And this is supposed to provide more specifics on how you will get paid. And also there's a document on your left here. It says the FTC Business Opportunity Rule. This rule has a requirement that you can request this one-page disclosure document that should offer key information. Now, if this work at home opportunity is not willing to do that, and even if they do, make sure anything they send you, you verify and make sure it's actually true.
The ads can be tempting.
Work from home. Be your own boss. Make thousands of dollars each month.
But work-at-home schemes won't make you rich. What the ads don't mention is that you may have to
spend your own money
to buy equipment, place ads, or make copies. And when you've done the job, the company may
refuse to pay you
because
your work didn't reach our standards of quality. Nothing ever does.
If you answer an ad to work at home, ask questions. What tasks are involved? Will you be paid a salary or a commission? Will you have to pay them anything? When will you get your first check? And how much will it be? You also can search online for the company's name and the word
scam.
When it comes to work at home ads, exercise doubt. Check it out at ftc.gov.
Thank you so much for taking part 2 of the Military Consumer Toolkit on Earn. Look forward to seeing you in video 3 on Borrow. Have a great day.